Hello and welcome back to CS38 Racing, and this is part 2 of Career Mode, our first season in Moto 3, well, the pre-build up to the first season, and we're going to Lusail, Qatar. So let's see what's in our MotoGP wall. An interesting little addition to MotoGP and the way it works. It was a hard entrance, but C Racing didn't do it on purpose. That's just the way races are. I'm sorry about your race. Obviously, I didn't do it on purpose. I apologize. I'm going to select that. Let's just be cheery with everyone to increase our chances of getting a ride for next year. All right, let's get that done. And let's jump down into Qatar. So it looks like it is dry, and dry. All right, see you guys in the practice reviews and for qualifying, and then on the grid for the race. All right, see you soon. All right, so we're down here in practice, and we've managed to put in a few laps here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification to stay informed on when CS38 Racing is putting out more videos. Alright, so we've managed so far to do a best lap of a 209.496. So this isn't good enough to get us anywhere to where we want to be. Currently, we would like to be a lot higher than this. So with that being said, we're trying to put in some more laps to ensure that we are really going to get ourselves. Main goal is to get ourselves into the top qualifying. But as you can see here, we just run a bit wide. We don't hit the apex fully, and we just touch the curbs, losing us vital momentum there. So yeah, it's quite difficult with the AI. I've got the AI set to 90 here because I just wanted to see how they'd go off the bat, because I've been hearing reviews like in the first video that the AI can be really fast in the practices and then they're quite slow in the races. So we're just going to have to look into that one. But anyway, we come back into the pits. We completed a lap there, and I felt that was the strongest we could do in that session. So let's see how we actually how that panned out. We're dead last. We did a 209.496, so we weren't able to better our earlier time, unfortunately, but let's see how it goes in practice 2. So for practice 2, we didn't record any footage, but we did have a good consistent run out there. We managed to get to a 208.162, so we're definitely improving as the session goes, as the weekend goes along. And even with that improvement of roughly about a second, Yamanaka's in 7th, which you got to remember, we were still 3.2 seconds off. Okay, so coming into FP3, we were still 2.9 seconds off, so we were under the 3-second barrier, and we did a 208.95, which was faster than my personal lap time, which was putting us in the top 10 of the world's times at time of recording. So now let's jump down into qualifying. This is our first run with qualifying. Braking hard into the first corner as we try and maintain the corner speed, which is really hard with the physics, because as soon as you touch the accelerator, the bike wants to sit up and run wide. So you've got to be really careful with how you go about this. I find if you start with the base settings and just really get used to the base settings and then make some adjustments, you'll find yourself making quite a bit of time. And also, this game is definitely a smooth rider's game. So as we come into turn 5, we're currently setting a good time. I mean, it's our first flying lap, so we don't really have a realistic base to base it off. Coming into the tight turn 6, cutting in towards the inside there to give ourselves enough room if the bike does want to sit up. Now this is a really tricky corner coming into turn 7. You're braking at the same time as turning right and trying to get a good apex here, because there's this, I call it the flip-flop section, because you're left then right then left again. So we got a really good run through there. We managed to hit the apex nicely. So all about that smooth braking. And now this is where it's really important to get speed in the mid corner. And so, you know, you're just sort of feathering as much as you can. And this section here, tied in against the curb, come back out towards the far curb, and then we just do that again for that series of fast right-handers. This corner can be a bit tricky as it's kind of a bit of a blind entry, and the track moves away from you a bit. It feels like it's a bit off camber. Coming into the last corner, we did well to hit the apex there without touching the curbs. The curbs aren't as bad as MotoGP 23, or for GP22 for that matter, but they still do lose you time if you are not fully paying attention. So we come across the line in our first run, and we complete a 207.961. So we've actually done it faster than our personal lap time. As we come into the second run towards the closing minutes of the qualifying session. Hard into turn 1. We're a little bit deep there, but you know, it's okay. We could still make some time back on exit, which we currently do. It look like, oh no, it look like we're holding the same time as our previous time, maybe a little bit slower. Coming out of turn 2 into turn 3, changing up into 4th and 5th gear, maintaining the momentum as we come down this sort of mini back straight. And then you're braking hard into turn 4, trying to maintain that corner speed and momentum, at the same time as trying to hold a close apex, because you need to have good, just a little bit out on the curbs there, so you can see it does lose a little bit of time. Now hard into turn 6, down to first gear, back on the throttle, not too much. You don't want the front wheel to lift up, you don't want to lose momentum and run wide. Now we're braking into here and really trying to hold a close line here to give us the best possible exit into the flip-flop section. That's what I'm calling it. It's flip-flop. It's officially the flip-flop section. Next year when they go to Losail, or this year when they go to Losail, sorry, it'll be called the flip-flop section. So just keep that in mind. Now we come into this long turn 11, and we're keeping the power on and keeping the power on. We're only a 10th off, so we've still got the opportunity to improve on our first run. Tied in here, but we run a touch wide, and we're just on the curbs. We managed to bring it back to a close apex before we come into turn 14. We've got a good run there, but we are out on the curbs, so that is going to lose us a touch of momentum. We're coming in nice and close here to the apex of turn 15. Got a good exit out of 15, but we're still 3/10 off, so I don't see us improving. Whoa, the rear kicks out there, and we're hard braking into the last corner as we bring ourselves to the back straight, to the main straight, sorry. Yeah, doesn't look like we're going to be improving on our previous attempts here, so that's a bit disappointing, but not really much we could do about that one. We put in our best effort. So now we're coming across the line to finish the qualifying session, and let's see how we go. We are starting last, dead last. We're 1.6 seconds off the time to get into Q1. So yes, the AI are seeming to be quite difficult, considering that was actually my personal best time. Let's see how we can go in the race. Okay, so we're down here on the grid. We're going to go a medium front and a soft rear. And we've got to try and beat Yamanaka. So where's Yamanaka sitting? I believe Yamanaka is sitting in 7th. So we've got a long way to go to even get close to Yamanaka. But we're going to give it our best shot anyway and see how we go. Okay, so we're starting last on the grid here. Okay, let's get ready. Rev it up, the lights are still on. And we go. The lights hold for quite a bit of time, actually. So we're not off to a terrible start, and we're not off to a great start. It's just a start. It's an okay start. Okay, so now we've got to see if we can make up some positions into the first corner. Whoop, whoop. The AI do brake a bit earlier there. And also, I know it looks like it's bargy. It's because it is bargy. The AI are bargy. You've got to be bargy. There's no way. Otherwise, you'll just lose too much time. The AI really don't seem to be affected by your ability to either bash or crash into them. They seem to just go, oh, okay, yep, righto, I'm going to hold this line. So there needs to be a little bit of that. Oh, we've got some supreme corner entry speed here on the rest of the pack, so that's something that we definitely need to take to our advantage as the race goes on. As we're trying to catch up to Yamanaka, we're a little bit of a way off. We've got up the inside of Nepa there. Oh, nope, Nepa got a stronger exit. We've lost pace on exit. So coming into the right-hander of turn 7, we're eyeing up. No, we don't need to worry about Nepa, we need to worry about Kelso, who is right behind us, fellow Aussie. Okay, so we do make up some time coming into that turn 9. Turn 10, we take a dive. We've managed to nudge Nepa out of the apex there, but I feel like Nepa might get a better run. Nope, we've managed to get ourselves into the slipstream of Via there, Colin Via. We make a couple moves again. It's a bit bargy, but it's the only way we're really going to make it through. So now we're eyeing off the top 10, which would be a good... Whoa, okay, track limits warning, we've got to be careful there. So eyeing off a top 10 would be a really good way to get some more reputation, get the eyes of the teams looking at us for next year. Well, there was a bump there from Kaitatoba. So, coming to the end of this first lap, we're still using power mode 3. It's saying that we've got negative 0.6 laps remaining. I don't know how accurate the fuel meter is, but we're going to find out. So it is flashing red, so I think that might be not a good thing. Generally, flashing red things don't equal good. So we're going to switch down to power mode 2 as we come into the first corner there. We're able to get through on Riccardo Rossi. Now we're onto the back of Dennis Onju, and we can see Yamanaka in front of us. He is within sight, so we need to stay calm and see if we can nudge our way forward or make our way forward to put some more pressure on Yamanaka. So we seem to be really strong into this braking area here. We're able to gain a lot of time, so we just slot in front of Dennis Onju there, which Dennis Onju is normally a really late braker, so that was a really good job from us. Okay, so now we've got our main rival in our sights. We take the dive, we've taken the dive, we've gone there, we're pushing him a little bit wide. Rubbing is racing, right? Rubbing is racing. Oh, we lose a bit of momentum there on the curbs. So I'm expecting Yamanaka to come back up on the inside. Nope, we managed to close the door, but we're a touch deep. And we can see Ortola there, so our next target is to try and move ourselves ahead and gain some more points advantage over Yamanaka. But Yamanaka's not giving up, he's right there behind us. Come into turn 10, braking hard into the sort of heavy braking point on the track. Going up through the gears, trying to maintain the momentum, trying to hold that inside line so that Yamanaka doesn't get any chance to cut off our entry into this corner. Oh, but we're wide there. There's definitely going to be more pace coming from behind us with Yamanaka. So we're managing to just sort of hold for the moment. We've got a 10th over Yamanaka, but we're a second off Ortola, so we're pretty far off at this stage. So let's see if we can just maintain this, but we are saying we have 0.2 left in fuel. Our tyres are maintaining quite well. Oh, there's Yamanaka, he's back through on us, he's got a lot better corner speed there. Let's see if we can slip behind him and catch the slipstream, but Dennis Onju has got our slipstream, but we've got... Yes, we managed to pull past. We've got a bit of a double slipstream effect there. Coming into turn 1, slam on the brakes. Absolutely hold the brakes until you can get the apex, and then try and get a smooth exit out of turn 1 to lead into turn 2. So this is all about corner speed, which it's a bit difficult because the player, it finds it really difficult to hold corner speed, whereas the AI just absolutely slam on corner speed, but then they go slow into corners. So there needs to be a bit of revision around this. And I don't mind if the AI are harder and we do have to put the AI down. I don't mind that, just as long as it's more consistent and it's more fair. I'm happy with that. Okay, so we can still see that we're about a second off Ortola. We've still got about a 10th behind us to Dennis Onju and Yamanaka at the halfway stage in this race. So we are looking pretty good to have a top 10 finish, which I think is a pretty good job from us. But if we're wanting to get into a good team next year, we're going to have to do a lot better than that. But I'm also okay just to be on the Moto3 grid for next season, because we're able to make developments with bikes, so I think that will be quite good. Still don't know which I'd like to go with, whether I'd like to go with a KTM sort of setup or a Honda setup, but I do want to start an individual team. I don't want to join a current team. as I don't really like I like the realism of if you ride for a team, then you are one of the two riders, and I think that's good. But I don't like knocking out another rider. I'd rather have more bikes on the grid and get more competition going, which I think is good from what I've heard and seen in other videos, that you do actually have a teammate when you start your own team, which I think is finally a big step that we've needed in the game. Okay, so coming around for this last half, we're definitely not clear of the Dennis Onju Yamanaka battle behind us, we've lost time on Ortola. We've lost about 5/10 on Ortola, and there's Onju coming through on us. I'm going to use a bit of power mode 3 just to get us down the straight, and we're really starting to be concerned about fuel now, as we want to ensure that we can make it to the end, because there would be nothing more disappointing than losing a top 10 due to not having fuel. So let's see what we can do here. We've run a little bit wide out of turn 2, and we're a bit close in on turn 3, but hopefully we get enough drive down into our favourite corner at the moment, turn 4, and we've got a lot better entry speed, and we can hold a lot better corner speed through this section, which gives us a little bit of breathing room coming into the back half of the circuit, but then we do quickly lose that again in the closing corners, where there's a lot of corner speed involved. Now we are just a little bit deep there, but I don't think it's really going to affect us that much. Okay, so, well, we're sort of sitting here in pretty consistent pace. We've got Diego Moreira leading the race from Daniel Holgado and Sasaki. Sounds like a pretty good bunch at the top there. I wonder if they're having a good battle. Hopefully in future races we can be a part of that battle. So let's just see how we can go as we continue to come through this section here. This is a bit of a tricky corner, turn 12. You want to turn in early at the same time as you want to maintain speed, so it's a bit of a getting the levels right between braking and speed into the corner. So we've got a pretty good exit there. We've managed to close about 4/10, we're back down to about a second off Ortola, so we do make some time through that. We're 3/10 up on our personal best lap this race. And we seem to be able to close, but then we lose straight away. We're already back to 4/10, but Onju is directly here with us. We're going to have a bit of a fight down to the line, and Yamanaka's got the double slipstream there. He could capitalise and come around the outside, but I'm going to block him off there and just slam on the brakes and see if we can hold and hit a tight apex to ensure that we can get a good run out of here. So it looks like Ortola has got some pace, and Suzuki is dropping a little bit from that next group. Holgado has taken the lead at the front, and Moreira is second with Sasaki in third. But Sasaki has the fastest lap of the race currently with a 2:08.261, so we know that in our qualifying we were faster than that, and in our race we were about a couple of tenths or 3 or 4 tenths off that time. So it is looking like it is levelling out in the race, so to speak, but it does make it harder coming all the way from the back of the grid to have to then find that you have sort of top 8, top 5 race pace. Okay, so we're heading into the penultimate lap here. We've still got Yamanaka on our tail, which is good. We're currently 1 point up in our battle, which is good to see, but we would like to be more. And in the first race, if things hadn't gone so bad, we could have been a little bit more, but we're deep there big time. We run wide, so that definitely loses us a lot of drive into that last lap. So Yamanaka might just streak away from us here, which is a bit disappointing, as we're managing to hold him off for most of the race. But let's see if we can catch back up here in these successive right-handers. Oh, we're sliding a little bit out there, but we're okay. We did lose time to Yamanaka there, definitely. So we're about 0.5 off Yamanaka currently. Okay. So we're going to come down. We've got 0 laps left of fuel here, so I don't know how we're going to go for fuel. I'm going to have to put it into power mode 1 and just see how we go, because I definitely don't want to run out of fuel. That would be really disappointing. So we managed to get past on... Oh no, that's not Onju, that's Rueda. So Rueda's made a bit of a charge from the back of the grid. Well, not the back of the grid, mid-pack really. We're deep there, that's definitely going to lose us a lot of momentum, so I think the chase on Yamanaka is done. I think Yamanaka is going to run away and win today. Win our battle today, but we're only 2 points behind, so that's not too much of a deficit, considering we were positive in Malaysia. Oop, so we're still around about that sort of top 9, but I think Rueda's tyres might be better than ours, though our tyres aren't too bad. We still have quite good grip with them, but because we're in power mode 1, we definitely don't have the same level of pace that Rueda is carrying. Okay, let's see if we can settle into a rhythm. We're about 2 tenths up on Dennis Onju, so hopefully we can hold off to keep a top 10. And hopefully our fuel doesn't cut out because we're 0.2 laps, and I'm getting a little bit nervous about this now. But if we can hold, this isn't a bad race from the back of the grid. I think it's a pretty good recovery, considering the AI being at 90%, which is crazy because I was at 120% on the last game and still winning convincingly in Moto 3. Oh, we've just mucked up that section there. We've sort of thrown away our top 10. We're still trying to chase and see if we can make it back to our top 10 as we've got Nepa and Onju as our targets there. We're braking hard into this last corner. We just clipped the inside curb. I don't think we're going to make it. I don't think we're going to have enough drive. I'm really pushing into this last corner to try and get anywhere close to the slipstream of these two riders, but we're going to have to put it in power mode 3 and risk it and see if we can get anywhere back down to power mode 1. Oh, and we just ran out of fuel on the line there, just towards the line. Now that's premium fuel management if you ask me. Okay, so that was a pretty crazy race there. We ended out in 12th, so not bad from the back of the grid, but we definitely want to do better moving forward in the championship, particularly when Yamanaka ended in front of us in 8th place. So, yeah, in the championship that puts us in 8th, Yamanaka in 7th, so we're still close. He's definitely our closest rival, but we're looking to make that different into the next race. So Halgado, Moreira and Artigas are our leading 3, Sasaki in 4th. So CIP Green Power is towards the bottom of the team's championship. Alright, rewards. Let's see what we got here. We did not reach our objective of Rising Star, but we did hit the team objective of finish at least in 15th place. So, okay, turning point. What are we going to get? Gear up. What does that mean? So it's still Yamanaka that we're fighting, interestingly enough, versus... Alright, so that's going down to Valencia, and we have to finish the race ahead of Yamanaka. Would be solid for the debut season. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and see you on the next one. Bye.